there will be no way to inhibit TF's roaming potential once Sylas falls off, and Camille comes in as the counter pick at the top lane.
Yeah.
Seems like this draft looks very analogous to some of the drafts that Gen.G or even DYN have done in some of their previous series.
Yeah, it is very similar. I mean, the final pick on red side is used to actually counterpick rather than just picking Renekton for no reason, which we have seen other teams do. Not going to name any names. And yeah, I really like the Camille. I mean, Camille in general has become a lot more flexible in terms of the different builds you can go, and also just because she's great as a counter pick, and she's getting more and more play, which is really good to see. You can really lock down the little yordle that is Kennen, especially later on in the game, and try to take away from some of his team fighting potential.
Yeah, the concept from Gen.G's team comp is basically analogous to that of DRX earlier today. So basically, TF and Lee will be helping out Camille and covering for her a lot, so she is able to nurture herself without much adversity. And when that time comes for Camille to shine, she will potentially deliver. And I mean, Rascal has been playing exceptionally well this split thus far, so I don't think there will be much doubt amongst people and even from the teammates and coaching staff of Gen.G that Rascal can deliver what he can. So
Yeah.
let's see whether Camille can sustain the early game through the assistance of Lee Sin and TF, and see how Camille can just wreak havoc in that side lane later on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point, the one that you make about Rascal. That's another player that I think very often gets overlooked. I mean, and for a good reason. I think that, especially last year and even spring, he was kind of just like a little bit of a passenger, right? We talk about buses here a lot here in the LCK.
The comfy bus ride.
Yeah, you just sit back, relax. You know, you get that premium bus seat, and you're feeling pretty good. And Rascal had that for a while, but I feel like he really has improved quite a lot, and he is just so consistent and reliable. And I feel like that's just a great quality to have, especially for a top laner. You don't want to just lose randomly in some matchups and have your team have to dig themselves out of the hole that you dug for them. And Rascal doesn't do that anymore, and he's actually winning a lot of lanes as well at the same time. So just add another player to the list of players on Gen.G that sometimes just go unmentioned when we talk about some of the best here in LCK.
Yeah, basically he's a multi-talent. You know, he could act as a passenger, but these in the summer season, he seemed like he's more of a mechanic. You know,
Yeah.
Solidifying that bumper from the bus ride in front of the bus. You know, not to opt for a crash or a collision.
Yeah.
So basically, he's been playing that role a lot, but he definitely has the potential to be the driver himself as well. So we'll see how this pans out. I think the most important lane will be mid lane again. Can Sylas overcome TF and then suppress TF's ability to roam? If Sylas fails to do so, then considering the pilot of TF is BDD, they will be making plays for sure.
Yeah. Well, Beyond rather is going to come up here. He goes blue, or rather red-blue, as that's not going to work on the hook shot. It's not
says,
Yeah. Not quite able to deny him there. And Trundle went for, you know, kind of a janky route to get up there. You can see that Lee Sin's going for a full clear, but the Trundle did go red-blue Gromp top. And look at Clid. He immediately recognized that. He hits tab. He's like, oh, you've only got 12 CS. Let me take your Raptors. But now we're having a play on the BDD, who does have to flash the pillar. In goes Clid, actually, to get a little bit of trade damage onto Kuzan when he is in mid-Raptors.
Well, I mean, still sign of positivity coming from Team Dynamics. They're able to push out TF, but now they're trying to make play at the bot lane.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always going to be nice, you know, trade your flash for the AD carry, especially when he's struggling in the lane. You're able to deny him some of the CS at the same time. And once again, it's just domination down on the bottom side. This is what we've come to expect. They're undefeated on these two champions, or Ruler and Life, as is BDD on the TF.
I mean, it's only going to get more difficult for Dynamics bot lane because Trundle, rather than taking care of the bot lane first, he went for the top lane gank initially. So
Rascal, I think he had that second part of the Q there. And thankfully the stun did come in at exactly the right time to deny him any plays. The lane is pushing into Rascal, so that's going to force Rich to immediately TP up top.
Yeah, to compensate for that XP differential. And I mean, Rich survived that mutilation coming from Camille, but
deokdam. He doesn't
no.
have his flash.
Yep.
And the exhaust comes out, but it just doesn't matter. And now look at this, GuGer's all alone. And yeah, he's not gonna have anything. Double kill to Ruler, and just like that, the bottom lane is opened wide open.
Yep, it is completely busted open, and
I think they're
I have no clue how Dynamics is able to change the landscape of that bot lane at all, because if you let them play 2v2, they already fall behind. You give Ruler a double kill from the get-go, well, that's nothing but signs for disaster and catastrophe, right? So, ay right there.
Yeah, at first I thought you said science. I'm like, well,
no, science.
It is a bit of science as well. They put they mix 1 part Ruler with 1 part Life and add in, a half part of BDD, and then all of a sudden,
I mean,
get a
it is. I mean, it is starting to become a science, because Ruler and Life both have been dominating the laning phase in the past few series. But at the same time, there's another science. deokdam and GuGer just getting constantly hammered onto them. Like that's another part of the science right there.
Yeah.
Once again here, just clean engagement from Leona, and there was literally nothing that deokdam could have done because of their lack of flash.
Yeah.
안 당겨온다.
So
앞을 볼게.
they don't see him.
I'm gonna engage.
오케이, 앞에. 앞에 내고.
Aphelios.
그 3초. 스턴 내다, 스턴 내. 스턴 내고. 나무.
got stun.
나 빼다.
Oh, back off.
나이스.
Alright, good job, guys. Nice.
Nice. Why didn't he say Basa Joa? I like the bus.
You mean you like the bus ride?
Yeah, that's
Well, I mean, it's far from over yet, The game is far from over. I mean, yes, Ruler started off with the double kill.
okay. Nice blue card BDD. What's that all about?
Try to inflict as much damage as possible.
Oh,
and then,
stealing the Hextech ultimatum. I love it. Out of Kuzan. He TP's up there, so he doesn't take the Destiny Gate. Not able to steal that one, but he steals the Hextech ultimatum and denies BDD any chance of escape.
Yeah, great awareness and decision-making by Kuzan. Like, I can join the fray promptly using the TP, and then I can just isolate TF using Camille's Hextech ultimatum. And that was the great decision-making process coming from Kuzan. And yeah, a big misplay coming from BDD, trying to just inflict as much damage as possible using that blue card. But
Yeah.
ay.
Yes. Well said. It's just about how we feel. I mean, Gen.G, they're still in the lead because of their bottom lane. It's just total domination. 21 CS ahead. They're going to use that priority to get the first straight here at the same time. Mid, of course, was a little bit of a disaster, the gank was, but it's still relatively even in terms of the farm. It's not going to be the biggest deal in the world.
So TF ults towards top, and showers the Kennen with the blue card. And Sylas immediately TPs in, and then immediately hijacks Camille's ult, and then just engages onto TF.
Got more action here. Hextech ultimatum this time, the real one coming out of Rascal. That's going to be a good isolation onto the mid laner, or not the mid laner, the jungler, as the mid laner was trying to get there, but he was a little bit late. And that's going to mean that Gen.G and their proactivity here, they will be able to pick up yet another objective.
Yeah, and just once again, having an ample vision around that area of the map allowed Gen.G to make such plays. And now as the accolade of that skirmish, Gen.G is going to acquire the Eye of the Herald as well. So it's only going to get worse for Dynamics from here on. And I mean, they try to live up to their names and try to be as dynamic as possible, but this bot lane is not even close to being dynamic.
Yeah.
You can rather call them the static duo. Which means it's a complete mismatch for their team.
Clearly. They don't quite fit in. And you can see here beyond is well, I'm not really sure. Okay, they're trying to dive here. And
on this time,
they have the damage to take out Rascal. Yes, they do, but in goes Clid. Not going to be denied by the pillar. He's looking for more on a Kuzan, but it's not going to happen. And now Kuzan, all of a sudden, that is a couple of great plays in a row now. He's up to 2-0-1 after the play up in the top side. Yeah,
great play from Kuzan. This time he hijacked TF's ult, and then immediately teleports to the top lane and converges onto Camille. Although they had to sacrifice Rich, but they got 2 kills in the end, so a small victory for them. Here we can see that while clearing the vision out for Beyond, Rascal immediately engages with his ult.
X-Tech Flash is such a good route, by the way.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Leona just coming from the backside, leaving no room to maneuver for the Trundle.
Yeah.
And here, once again, immediate convergence coming from the Sylas, as well as Kennen and Trundle. But Kennen paid with his life. But in the end, I'll take a 2-to-1 trade any day, any night.
We saw, speaking of trades, it looks like there was a flash for nothing? For maybe the exhaust, I guess, from GuGer. As Ruler did have to flash in the bottom side. We didn't actually see that. But here we go. Yet another play. We're diving again. And, well, never mind. I guess we're going on the Kuzan here. Look at Rascal. He's all alone. And Gen.G are getting a little bit messy with some of the plays.
And this is also very crucial because TF just burned his ultimate in vain. He literally got anything done. So this is definitely a big win for Dynamics.
Are they actually trying to keep this going? Oh, yes, they are with GuGer coming in. They might just be able to, and the stun comes down, and now Clid is going to be ulted into that back line. Not quite enough, though, to take him down. Now Ruler is trying to chase. See what he can get done. He's going to force that flash, and here's the yellow card straight into Rich, who immediately cleanses it. Had that available with his unsealed spellbook. So he's going to be able to get away, but so much action here in the early game of this one.
Now, while this was all going on, Aphelios was farming placidly in the bot lane. And yet he's still 24 CS down.
Yeah.
My bad, guys. Gotta do better at arithmetics, I guess.
Well, we usually have trouble with that, so you fit right in.
I try to pretend one of you guys, to be one of you guys.
Yeah.
You have issues with arithmetics.
You're trying to help us out, but take another look here at the failed quote-unquote dive.
Yeah, so TF gets spotted by Sylas, so he can't TP towards top, and Rascal just completely overextended. This was just a bad play call from Gen.G. And here, BDD tries to make the play on Sylas, but Sylas immediately flashes away from the harm's way. And then Sylas somehow catches life, just trying to recall. And then it seemed like the fight was getting extended further and further until 4 members of Dynamics are present, and then they get a kill onto the Leona. But they weren't able to convert into any further kills.
That was an awesome use of Lee Sin's kit to get out of danger by Clid.
And great use of Unsealed Spellbook by Rich as well.
Yep.
So there were no casualties coming out from Dynamics' end. But despite all that, like, Aphelios just fell completely behind from the start. So even Aphelios wasn't there and Kalista actually joined the fray at the very end of that team fight, like, Aphelios wasn't able to capitalize on the absence of both Kalista and Leona in the lane. So yes, Dynamics is ahead in terms of the kill score, and the goal difference is only like 1700. Like, it just doesn't seem that optimistic for Dynamics at this point.
This is a bit awkward. Rich is in a really weird spot. He's going to get ulted there. He's going to get ulted before he can actually get over. There's the ultimate coming out, and, well, Ruler's just going to pull the sticks out of him. He was trying to set up onto a Camille, but I think based on her positioning, he should have known.
Well, he just duped himself.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He was trying to dupe the champions of Gen.G, but in reality, he duped himself.
It's very static play, Brian, if I say so myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's part
static
of
indeed.
Team Static.
What have I done?
What have you done? I don't know. There is just so much movement right now on this map from both sides.
Yeah, and once again, this is because Gen.G's full control of vision on the top side of the rift right now, so they can just intrude however they want.
뭐야? 야 여기 있다.
Rascal, oh hey, he's here. So they immediately was aware.
Leona's dead. All of a sudden, they're trying to get GuGer here too. At the same time, he's going to take BDD and roll with it. As yes, the root's going to come down, but now deokdam, he actually flashed to get out of that one, and GuGer's just going to eat the CC in the front. As they were focusing on him, not on deokdam, and well, just more sadness for the Team Dynamics bottom lane as they get caught in the top lane.
And also, you can see that the duo is completely discombobulated with their play calls as well. You see deokdam try to disengage using the flash, but Sett tried to crowd control the members of Gen.G with his facebreaker and try to potentially make plays using the assistance of the tower and Aphelios, but Aphelios just completely abandoned him and said, "See you later."
Yeah. I mean, he even flashed himself. Like, it was kind of an embarrassing show, if I can be totally honest. And now they're trying to make moves down here. Our Team Dynamics are trying to, you know, potentially dive, but they're going to back away. They know that TF has teleport. Rich says, okay, you got me. We're not actually going to go for it.
여기 있다.
Right, here he is.
뭐야? 야 여기 있다.
Hey, here he is.
Yeah, he was confused.
나이스. 까비.
Alright, here's the part where they pick off Beyond. Immediately, insect kicks Beyond. And then TF comes in. It's on to GuGer. GuGer uses the showstopper to escape at first, but this is exactly what I was talking about. GuGer tried to make a play using the assistance from tier 2 turret and his facebreaker, but deokdam was like, adios!
Yeah, see ya!
Yeah, and before GuGer was able to use the W for extra sustainability, he just got completely shut down and turned into a gray screen.
Yeah. Well, we did have a lot of action. Now we're kind of slowing down. Gen.G in the background are just slowly taking Drake after Drake. You know, there have been some hiccups along the way with how aggressive they're trying to be. I think that's kind of granted. And if you take a look at the 80 carry gold difference, I mean, it's over 3,500 gold, okay? It's just insanity.
It's like another Infinity Edge right there.
Yeah, well, GuGer's dead. And that's going to be the first one. Will there be any more?
Which is extremely disappointing for Team Dynamics, because when we looked at the gold graph, we were able to see Rich being slightly ahead of Camille. Trundle like slightly below decent, like about 500. I don't think that's like too critical. But you have to keep in mind that Sylas and TF were essentially even in gold. And considering TF's passive that allows him to earn extra gold, this indicates that Sylas has been doing extremely well throughout this game. And Dynamics really could have had the tempo onto their favor, but the bot lane is just so discombobulated to a point where it just can't really...
What is going on right now? I don't even know like what I'm watching. Life's just gonna die and Ruler has to flash. That's not what you're looking for, guys.
And Rich is about to die as well.
He's gonna get flashed on. Triumph is gonna come in, and he's gonna have to flash that one. Kuzan, he's still fast though, and you should know that this Sylas is not gonna give up.
Well, I think the time has come to...
There, okay.
Well, GuGer.
Yeah,
and
GuGer trying to get in here.
Can they finally make a play?
Oh, is this the time to flash GuGer? What a play! He's able to catch both of them, and that will make that dive extremely easy. Nobody's going to be in danger, and Team Dynamics will strike back.
And it was extremely brilliant for Sylas to get that shutdown goal onto Lee Sin. But do you know what just happened?
What?
deokdam didn't get a single kill.
Yeah.
Ay.
Feels bad, man.
Sett just said, enough of this bull jive. You abandoned me last time in the top lane, right? So there's no such thing for kill score to you.
Yeah, it's all mine.
Yep. So here, Ruler gets pillar, and then re-engages, hopping around, and then sends life into the frontier line, and then allow him to just die.
Yeah. Does Ruler have both cleanse and QSS, or was I not seeing that correctly? We'll check after this, as Rich totally baited.
Yep. A great play from Rascal and Clid. Then Rich try to somehow survive, but the last-ditch effort for Kennen was in vain. And Sylas on the pursuit to catch both Camille and Lee, and GuGer Sett and deokdam's Aphelios arrive just on time, and this time GuGer gets the brilliant face breaker onto both champions.
Yeah.
Allows Kuzan and himself to take the kills.
Yeah, it's a great play, and they need more like that in order to try to come back in this game. They're going up against Camille TF, which we didn't talk about too much, but it's a excellent split pushing combo that we have seen many times before here in the LCK, because TF can kind of just be anywhere. He's got TP and he has his ultimate and Camille. Also with TP, a very excellent split pusher of her own board, and they can always group up or they can do 1-3-1. They have a lot of options when they do have these two combos.
Sorry, especially once she has Trinity Force along with Tiamat, the split pushing potency grows immensely. So I think from here on, the biggest question for Dynamics is, how do you stop Camille and TF from that so-called 1-3-1 method? And at the same time, not get slaughtered by Kalista with 4-0-1.
Yeah, and when you're pulling people apart like this, the Kalista is going to be fantastic for taking objectives, because Team Dynamics, I think eventually, inevitably, they're going to be pulled out of position. And the second that happens, you can just throw this fed Kalista onto Baron, get it started. You're going to have the jungler with you. And then you can just TP both BDD and Rascal in if you need them to. Or, if they don't respond, you can take an inhibitor and back away. Maybe lose one person, you know, or none. So it's a very deadly comp, especially with the Kalista, because you have so much objective-taking power. Now, they're on Infernal Soul points, and you can see that Team Dynamics, they're already trying to clear out some vision. They're already trying to get on over there and attempt to stop this from going down, but it's not going to be an easy feat from here.
Well, they really need to acquire as much vision as possible near that, both near the Dragon Pit and also the Nasher Pit as well, because Gen.G has all the leverage that they can play with. They can bait Dynamics towards the Dragon, and they can rotate to Baron due to the mobilities of Camille and TF. And also, although the wave is starting to push out for Dynamics, but they have been shoved in for a while thanks to Camille and TS split pushing potential. So we'll see how Dynamics can manage the waves from the sidelines and also prevent Gen.G from getting the Infernal Soul or the Nasher buff.
Gen.G are not responding to this. Finally, the TF ultimate is going to come out, but it's a little bit too little. The Trundle pillar is going to come down, and that is the ultimate. Massive solar flare into the back line. But where is the follow-up? Finally, BDD coming in, immediately gets exhausted, but Rascal, oh man, he just put down the Sett, who does not have many stats. And yes, the Infernal is going to go the way of Team Dynamics, but I think it's going to be a clean ace as Kuzan. BDD just going to tank this one up, but Kuzan will eventually go down. Nice try. The clean ace comes out. Nobody on the side of Gen.G die, and they're going to make their way towards Baron and pushing the lane.
Yep, and Camille just secured a triple kill, so I don't see how any of Dynamics champions going to stop her from that split pushing potential. And also, basically, the play call from Gen.G was, we're going to use the dragon to bait them towards to the pit, and let them have it, because it doesn't really matter. As soon as they're done, we're going to immediately engage and just completely hammer them, which they did, because they got the clean ace. And now, as the accolade, they're going to get the Nasher buff.
Yep.
This is probably the nail in the coffin.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And, yeah.
Check here. TF immediately spots all the members of Dynamics, and they just concede the dragon, but great solo player coming in from life. And deokdam, despite doing some damage, because he wasn't pinned by anyone from Gen.G, but he just lacks firepower at all. And by the time he tried to maneuver and shoot more guns, it was already there had been multiple dead bodies around him, and those dead bodies were all from his allies. And
oh, we have another fight here. It looks like Team Dynamics are going to be caught out once again, but the rest of the team is going to get here before, but it just doesn't matter. We have ultra-fed Kalista and amazingly fed Camille alongside uber-fed TF. So it doesn't really matter what you have in your composition. They are going to win regardless, and now they're just going to try to push down mid and end the game.
Yep, and this again, the subpar performance coming from Dynamics bottom lane just completely cost them this game, because as I mentioned, Sylas was able to hold his ground up against TF, as well as Kennen up against Camille as well, but that sheer difference coming from the bot lane just completely allowed Dynamics